Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee media conference call. Your host for today is Ray Flores. Ray, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, operator. Greatly appreciate the media joining us from wherever they are around the world. We are very excited for Saturday, July 20th. We have the super middleweight champion of the world, Caleb Sweethands Plant, putting his title on the line against Mike Lee. It is the IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the World is on the line from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. It is Fox PBC Fight Night live on FOX and FOX Deportes, and it all starts at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific time. Brought to you by TGB Promotions and Sweethands Promotions. Tickets are available. They are going quickly at AXS.com. You can also purchase them over the phone, 866-740-7711, or in person at any MGM Resorts International box office. As Fox PBC Fight Night will precede the Fox Sports pay-per-view, the PBC pay-per-view, which starts at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific time. And that happens also at the MGM Grand, featuring the 8th Division World Champion, Manny Pac Man Pacquiao, taking on the WBA Welterweight World Champion, Efe Thurman, in our main event. Now, Saturday, July 20th, is going to be a historic night of boxing, and we are off to a tremendous start for the summer when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions, and a catalyst for that has been the promoter and the president of TGB Promotions, a man who, in my opinion, needs to be in the Hall of Fame sooner than later. Please welcome my dear friend, the president of TGB Promotions, Mr. Tom Brown.
Well, thank you, Ray. And thank you for being with us for the Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee IBF Super Middleweight Championship conference call. It's going to be a huge night of boxing in Las Vegas and a spectacular night for the sport of boxing and for Fox and Fox pay-per-view as well. And TGB Promotions happen to be a part of it, along with MB Promotions and Mayweather Promotions. Caleb Plant will be making the first defense of his title on Fox Primetime as the build-up to the Pacquiao versus Thurman pay-per-view event. The fans are in for a great night of action. Caleb Plant put the world on notice with his exciting title-winning performance back in January, and now Mike Lee, in his first world title fight, has a huge opportunity to prove he belongs with the best, as both guys put their undefeated records on the line. So now I'll throw it back over to Ray, introduce the fighters, and get things going. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tom. Greatly appreciate it. And as Tom mentioned, Saturday, July 20th cannot come fast enough. This is going to be a night that will forever be remembered in the history of boxing. Now let's get an opportunity to meet the challenger, who is undefeated. But first, we want to acknowledge his terrific team, his trainer, Jamal Abdullah. Also, another trainer that he has, Julian Chua, Tariq Azim, his strength and conditioning coach. This man is undefeated, 21 bouts, 21 victories, 11 of those coming by way of knockout. 32 years of age. He's been undefeated since turning pro back in 2010. He typically campaigns at 175 pounds, but now is going down 7 pounds to the super middleweight division. He could not pass up this opportunity, having most recently coming off a victory over Josh Hernandez by unanimous decision last year. And not only is he a terrific fighter, but also he's just he has accomplished a lot in academics. He's a graduate of the University of Notre Dame, where he earned a degree in finance from the Mendoza School of Business. I've had the opportunity to get to know this young man for the past several years. He comes from a tremendous background and, without a doubt, looking to make a statement and achieve his lifelong dream and become a world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated Mike Lee.
Hey, thanks, Ray. Appreciate it.
If you have any opening comments in regards to how training camp has gone for you and how excited you are for your opportunity on July 20th.
Yeah, I'm excited. Out in California now, feeling phenomenal, training my ass off, sparring my ass off. It's been the best camp I've ever had, honestly. Weight's coming down beautifully, and I just feel fast and strong and ready to do this.
Well, greatly appreciate it, Mike. Now we will have the operator open it up if the media has any questions for Mike Lee. Again, Mike Lee undefeated and looking to go ahead and become a world champion for the very first time. So I'll turn it over to the operator and the media for questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you have any questions, please dial *1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions, please dial *1 on your telephone keypad. All right, our first question comes from John Cudney.
Well, hey,
John,
Mike.
your line is open.
Yes, hello. Question for Mike Lee. So you had an unusual route into the sport, having graduated from Notre Dame with a great GPA. Just wondering if you can talk about what your goals were when you turned pro and how this fight fits into that, this title fight.
Well, I mean, the ultimate goal of any fighter or athlete is to compete at the highest level, world title, Super Bowl, whatever that may be. And so for me, this is a dream come true. And I'm excited because you work so hard and go through all those days of training camps and injuries and surgeries and all that shit to get to this moment here. So, it's the pinnacle of the sport, and that's where I belong. And I'm excited to show everybody that July 20th.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, our next question comes from Gail Fackenthal. Gail, your line is open.
Good afternoon, Mike. This was your
Hi.
first fight at super middleweight, I believe. What led to the decision to take a fight at super middleweight?
My team and I have been talking about super middleweight if there was an opportunity for a big fight for a while. So for me, it didn't necessarily come out of any left field. But when I got the phone call about this specific opportunity, I was all about it. I knew 168 wouldn't be a problem, and I knew I could bring my power, my speed down to this weight class and rehydrate the right way. So, when a world title comes, you say yes. And so, especially one that I know I can win. So I knew 168 was a comfortable weight for me, and here we are.
And are you working with a nutritionist or doing anything different in your training?
Yeah, I hired a new nutritionist. Normally I didn't really even need one to make 75, but I think the key was starting to monitor and really, get this stuff down early on. And we had a lot of time to prepare. So that's been the key, and he's made me feel better than I've ever felt.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a little rough at the July 4th barbecue, but other than that, I'm sure you'll do fine. And my final question, 2019 has really been the year of the upsets, and I would say, it's fair to say you're probably the underdog in this fight. Do you take some heart at seeing some of the upsets that have occurred this year in boxing and picture yourself being another one on the list?
I don't really pay too much attention to it. I mean, that people have been saying that a lot, but at the end of the day, I just got to be the best me. Those fights and what people say and what anybody else says doesn't dictate the outcome of this fight when the bell rings. And so, obviously that's something to know. That's the beauty of the sport. It only takes one punch, especially when you have power like mine. It only takes one punch to end something. So, I like the position I'm in.
Very good. Enjoy your holiday, and good luck to you.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate that.
All right, our next question comes from Carlos Toro with Fight Sports.
Hi, Mike. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. The first question is, as it was mentioned in the previous caller, this fight against Caleb Plant is your first at super middleweight, after spending your whole career basically at light heavyweight. How has the training and the preparation been for not just taking on Caleb and also losing the weight and still keeping the power that you had at 175 pounds?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to get scientific with it, and that's where I get smarter people than me around me, and just trusting the team. It's really about trusting that the weight's on points where it needs to be, and you're getting the right carbs, the right amount of fats, the right protein, all that stuff. So I have guys around me that have been doing this their entire lives and understand that. So in terms of preparation, I mean, everything gets ramped up with a world title fight. The hunger is increased, the training increases. You're working harder and smarter. So I'm just excited. I'm bringing this excited energy to all these training sessions, and that's what I've wanted for a long time. I've been top 10 in the world for my past 3-4 fights, so this is what I've been waiting for.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the second longest layoff in your pro career, having not fought for 13 months. So has it been easy shaking off the ring rust during camp with the sparring and the training for this fight?
Yeah, it really has been. 'Cause like I said, we knew about this fight a long time ago. This wasn't one of these things where I got a call 4 weeks before or 6 weeks before. So I've been training, I've been busy, and, you know, we were just waiting for that phone call. That was really it, the right opportunity. And I'm really grateful my team gave me this opportunity here. So, yeah, we've had a long time to prepare for this.
You know, throughout the buildup of this fight, I don't want to say Caleb was dismissing your chances, but, you know, Caleb has mentioned, you know, what can you do that Jose Uzcategui couldn't do to him? And Caleb has fought guys like him and Porky Medina. In your eyes, what do you think you possess that some of Caleb's past opponents don't have that would allow you to win this fight and become world champion?
Well, I'm an entirely different fighter. I mean, that's the beauty of the sport. Every single fight is different. And so it doesn't matter. I don't really care what his other opponents have done in or out of the ring. It doesn't matter. On fight night, it's all rings. It's just me and him. The best man will win. So, you know, I never really look into that. I'm telling you what my opponents say. I've been in so many press conferences where opponents either talk shit or they're dismissive or they're respectful, you know, all across the board. I beat them all. I plan on doing the exact same thing. So what comes out of his mouth doesn't concern me whatsoever.
Thanks, Mike, and best of luck on July 20th.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, our next question comes from Vincent Martirano. Vincent?
How's it going, Mike? So,
hey,
in
how
terms
you
of good, in terms of preparation training, like you were just talking about, is there anything specifically that you're changing or doing differently in preparation for Caleb Plant? Like you would normally
not
do for a
necessarily.
regular fight?
Not necessarily. I think, you know, if anything, the weather's gotten better, so we've done some more beach workouts. And I think that, you know, whether it's shadowboxing or strength conditioning, whatever it is, in the beach always helps. We've increased sparring. We've, you know, I don't know, it's the same thing. I mean, listen, this is my 22nd fight, so we're not trying to we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. So in a sense, it's not like we've really added too much.
Right. And then from your surrounding team and the people in your corner, how important have they been in the weeks that you've been training and preparing for this fight?
It's huge. It's everything. I mean, you know, that team is going to war with you, and you got to surround yourself with people that believe in the same mission, believe in the same values, and anything in life. That's all of us. We're a brotherhood, and I've had this team for a long time, and Jamal and Julian are phenomenal, and they see things I can't see, and they help me and push me and motivate me, and it's a dream come true for the entire team. And, you know, Jamal and Julian have been in corners for world title fights already, so it's nothing new to them. You know, but yeah, the teamwork's everything, and most importantly, everyone having the same vision, which is exactly what we have.
And I know from previous knowledge or previous research that you've gone through a couple of different trainers since you started your professional career, starting with Ronnie Shields, then moving to working with Chris Bird, and now Jamal Abdullah. What are like some of the benefits or the greatest takeaways that you could take from all three of them?
Man, I've learned so much from them. Ronnie is still a good friend. I mean, I turned pro with Ronnie in Houston, Texas, and I was down there with a bunch of world champions. So at a very early pro career, I got to get in there with some of the world's best and just learn. And Ronnie was phenomenal, big on the fundamentals, and just a calm, cool, collected guy who's been in the ring himself. And I love Ronnie to death. He'll be a friend for life. And same with Chris, man. Chris is a legend in the sport. You know, multiple-time world champion, and I learned a lot from him too. You know, we didn't have bad falling out with any of them. I think Ronnie was in Houston, and Chris was when I was in San Diego, and then I finally ventured up to LA. So still close with all of them. I learned a little bit of something from everybody. I think Ronnie was kind of my foundation, and Chris was a lot of defense and being slick, you know, which was his style. And then, you know, Jamal has brought a brand new, bringing it all together as now I move into, you know, longer fights and, you know, become more of a seasoned pro.
All right, cool. Thank you for your time, and good luck on July 20th.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I said thank you for your time, and good luck on July 20th, Mike.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right, our next question comes from Joseph Santolaquito.
Hello, Mike.
Hi.
Mike, question. Why the layoff between the Hernandez fight and the Plant fight? Was there an injury there, managerial issues? Why the 13-month layoff?
No, there wasn't managerial issues. If anything, we were waiting. We didn't get the right fight. I mean, I wasn't with the promoter, and we were looking to sign, and we were talking to a lot of different promoters, and certain opportunities came up, and then, like always in boxing, they say it's going to happen, and it falls through, and you can't believe anything until you sign the contract. So, obviously after that fight, took some time off, got back in the gym, and then it was a frustrating few months just kind of waiting for that phone call. But we got it, so we're here.
Gotcha. The other thing you said that I thought was interesting in terms of you didn't really care too much about Caleb's previous opponents, but you're a smart guy. I would think that you would look at maybe some things there that previous opponents may have done with Plant that you may have seen there to take advantage of.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you watch film. You definitely watch film, and you see what guys did well and didn't do well, and you know, all that kind of stuff. I just meant you don't really take it to heart because those guys aren't me. You know, you take it to heart in terms of what you're looking at, what you're staring at in terms of film study and whatnot. But it's the mentality of knowing that, yeah, it's good to have those specifics down and a game plan down and certain combinations and a strategy down. But at the end of the day, you know, those guys aren't me. So that's what I meant about that.
Okay. And finally, Mike, is there anyone you faced, whether it be sparring or actually in the ring, that's most like Caleb? And why?
I don't know. I haven't fought him yet.
Okay, I'm saying, is there anyone you fought that it's most like in terms of his style, in terms of the way he approaches opponents, things of that nature? There's no one you can compare Caleb to that you may.
Yeah, I mean, no one specific comes to mind in terms of. But I've been pro. I've been fighting since I was 8 years old. I've been pro for 21 fights and in and out of pro camp sparring. You know, God, I've sparred and been in the ring with so many different guys. So, yeah, you see a little bit of everything.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mike.
Cool. Thanks.
And our next question comes from Jeremy Harriges.
Hey, Mike. Thank you for your time. As far as your preparation, you said you had a lot of time to get ready for this fight. Have you had like a standard 8-week training camp, or is it extended beyond that?
Yeah, it extended beyond that, but, you know, we didn't want to burn out, so it wasn't like we were boxing every single day. We were just getting, you know, in terms of like strength conditioning in order. So when it started to really, I don't mean like we were sparring 12 weeks out or something, but, you know, here and there and just kind of getting the timing and the rhythm down. I think that really helps as you ease into it, because I think too often fighters come into an 8-week training camp and they're 25 pounds overweight or they're not in shape yet. And we had the luxury of coming into camp in shape. So camp wasn't about getting in shape necessarily and losing weight as much as it was just fine-tuning things and keeping the rhythm.
I know you have with being a Notre Dame alum, that you have a strong tie to your alma mater. How instrumental have they been in this fight? What have they done to kind of champion you on? And do you expect any Notre Dame legends to appear at your fight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've had a lot of Notre Dame guys call in when they have their Notre Dame day, a media day, and support me. I mean, whether it's buddies that I you know have known through the Notre Dame community, guys that played football like Justin Tuck, Golden Tate, or just so many amazing people that I've met through that community. Notre Dame's been phenomenal. They got a camera crew coming out next week, spread the message to the alumni network. So, you know, I'm just super appreciative of that community. It's taught me a lot. It's really matured me, and it's taught me a lot about giving back too. I've been involved in pretty much all my fights throughout my career, involved in different children's charities and Notre Dame charities. And so, you know, it's been exciting to be a part of that community and alumni network.
I know in your last fight, talking about sponsoring different things, that you were sponsoring a young man named Tavion who was struggling with cancer. I was wondering if you had any updates on Tavion or if he was planning on being at this fight.
Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to fly out to Las Vegas, but he just had a birthday that I sponsored and took care of and made sure people were there, and I'm still in contact with him, and I plan on seeing him, after this fight, so he'll be watching on TV. But, yeah, I got to bring him in the ring, and he held my belt, and, I mean, it's a beautiful moment. I mean, when I've been able to really connect with a lot of different kids, whether it's through Family Reach or different children's charities, and if I get a chance to do what I love, which is boxing, and also give back, I mean, it's such a win-win, and there's been many different cases of, kids like Tavion that I've helped along this way, and it's honestly, it makes me really grateful for where I am and that I have this platform position to do it. So, still involved in Tavion's life. Unfortunately, he got sick again and will be going through another round of chemotherapy, so he won't be able to make the trip out to Vegas, which I was bummed out about. But when I fly back to Chicago with the belt, I'm excited to let him hold it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike, and best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Our last question comes from Cassandra Casino. Cassandra?
Mike, my question is, so about 4 years ago, you were diagnosed with the autoimmune disease AS. Could you pronounce that for us? And then secondly, what do you do differently for recovery and to kind of manage the pain throughout camp and actually fight night because of the disease?
Yeah, it's known as ankylosing spondylitis. And, yeah, when I got diagnosed, it was after almost 2 years in and out of hospitals. And even the fights that I had some layoffs where things were really tough, it was some of the darkest moments of my life. And I know anybody who's dealt with those moments understand. And my immune system just shut down. And it really took a long time to really diagnose what was going on. And at the end of the day, a lot of it came down to my diet. A lot of it came down to my mindset. I started changing the way I was thinking about things and what I was eating and how I was eating it, and even getting off of all the medication that doctors had me on was huge. So, there's still days of pain. I still have to manage it, but I'm so far from where I was a few years ago, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think ultimately I want to show people that whether it's doctors, whether it's, anybody, obviously you have to trust what doctors say, but at the end of the day, I think the human will is the strongest thing. And so, I think it's beautiful, and I'm grateful that I'm in this position to fight for a world title when doctors told me to my face I'd never box again. And here we are, July 20th. I get to fight in front of millions of people and win a world title. I'm so grateful and happy, and I can't even imagine how even happy I'm going to be the next day with that belt. And, regardless, it seems like yesterday I was sitting in those hospital beds. And so here we are. I'm very excited and grateful.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we greatly appreciate the media for asking questions to Mike Lee, and Mike has been very gracious with his time. We know he's embedded in training camp and obviously looking forward to Saturday, July 20th, where he hopes to become a world champion. Mike, final comments as you prepare for your showdown coming up in a few weeks' time in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena as you collide against Caleb Plant.
No, thank you for everybody's time. Once again, I'm excited. This is an incredible opportunity, and I will make the most of it, and I think I'm going to shock a lot of people. I know that this is my moment, and as the moments get bigger and bigger, I perform better and better. So see everybody July 20th, and thank you again.
Greatly appreciate Mike's time. Also want to acknowledge Mike's father, who has really been very instrumental and is just a class act. The entire Lee family, his entire Lee team is first class without a doubt. Now let's turn our attention over to the man that Mike Lee is going to be standing across the ring from. First of all, we are going to acknowledge, when I mentioned it's a family affair, it is certainly a family affair with Caleb Plant as well. His father, Richie Plant, is his co-trainer. His lead trainer is Justin Gamber, who is constantly immersing himself in studying the sport of boxing and learning about the history and working on different methods that will benefit Caleb. Also, Larry Wade, who is a sensational and a world-class strength and conditioning coach. So acknowledge the entire team when it comes to Larry Wade, Justin Gamber, and Richie Plant as well. But now let's get to the champion. 18 bouts, 18 victories, 10 of those coming by way of knockout. Just 26 years of age, originally from Nashville, Tennessee, now residing and training in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's been undefeated since turning professional back in 2014. He captured the world title in January, where he knocked down Jose Luis Ustastiki twice en route to a unanimous decision. I have had the very good fortune of getting to know Caleb Plant for the past several years. And what I can tell you about Caleb Plant is that, in my opinion, he is so focused, so determined. And the thing about Caleb Plant is when he says something, he follows through on it, and it becomes a reality. He knew years ago he was going to be a world champion. The determination on Caleb Plant is second to none. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome the reigning and defending IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Caleb Sweethands Plant. Caleb, if you have opening comments and give us an idea of how training camp has been going. You look terrific in videos that we see, but your initial thoughts.
First I just want to thank all you guys for hopping on this call with us. Really appreciate all the media. This is how, how we're doing and what we're doing gets out to the rest of the world. So I really appreciate you guys. I want to thank TGB, my manager Louise, thank Al, Fox, beautiful platform that we'll be performing on July 20th. Camp is sensational. It's literally the best camp I ever had. I'm sure you guys get on the phone with a lot of fighters and they tell you that. Each camp, I literally become a new monster, and that's exactly what you guys are going to see July 20th. So.
Well, thank you very much, Caleb. Now we are going to turn it over if the media has questions. I'm sure you do for Caleb Plant. Also, want to send a congratulations to Caleb as he got engaged to his longtime girlfriend, Jordan Hardy, back in January after his world championship victory. So congratulations to Caleb and his lovely fiance. But now we'll open up to the media for questions for Caleb Plant.
As a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. All right, and our first question comes from Carlos Toro with Fight Sports.
Hi, Caleb. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. So my first question is, you've fought on television before, you've headlined, your last fight was main event on FS1, but now you're on the stage where you're fighting on Fox, you're leading into the Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman pay-per-view. Does being on this type of stage, can I add any extra motivation to go out and have the best performance of your career?
Definitely. I know that there's a bigger stage. There's going to be more eyes on me. But I think that they chose me for this event because they know I'm the guy who's not going to let them down. I think they know I'm the man for the job, and then I'm going to put on the show July 20th. So, it's all the same. At the end of the day, we're in the ring, the bell rings, then we fight. So I don't really feel any added pressure, just a little more excited to continue to show the world, what I'm capable of. So.
As you're approaching this first title defense, you're in a position where you have the world title, and Mike Lee is gunning for you, whereas in your last fight, you were the challenger. You're coming in for Jose Uzcategui's title. From your perspective, has there been a change of mentality approaching a fight being the champion compared to being the challenger?
Absolutely not. If he thinks that I'm not gunning for him and I was gunning for Jose, then he's sadly mistaken. So the mentality has not changed. I don't feel like I'm the hunted. I still feel like I'm hunting. I'm not satisfied. The goal was not the goal to become a world champion. It was just a goal. So in my eyes, I'm 18-0. I'm only 26. I'm just getting started. I'm gunning for him more than I was gunning for Jose.
You mentioned, winning the IBF title being a goal. So is it safe to assume that the goal is to unify the division and win the other world titles at 168 pounds?
Absolutely. If I'm not mistaken, there's never been an undisputed super middleweight. So that's my goal, is to become the first undisputed super middleweight of the world. But first things first, handle business. July 20th. I don't care about any other fights. I don't care about any other champions or what they're doing or what they got going on. The only thing I care about and I'm focused on is handling business and fasting July 20th. So.
Thanks, Caleb. Thanks so much, and best of luck on July 20th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Our next question comes from John Cudney.
Hi, Caleb. So this is a follow-up on what Carlos asked you about. Again, you being an underdog going into the Uzcategui fight, do you feel validated in a way as a fighter? Right? As your confidence increased, do you feel stronger as a fighter now, knowing that you can beat a fighter at that level?
I think it'd be hard to not be more confident after winning a world title, and not just one that, where I was tossed to alley-oop or, an easy one to knock out of the park. Jose, he was considered the boogeyman of the division, someone nobody wanted to fight. I came in after a year layoff, broke hand surgery, no tune-up fight, and I knew I could get the job done. So, but I don't feel validated in the sense of what I've accomplished. I'm not, I'm happy, but I'm not content. So, as I said, I'm gunning for him July 20th. I'm focused. I'm zoned in. But at the same time, I'm definitely, more confident, even more confident than I was before. So.
Great. Okay, so you've shown, I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase this, not too much respect for Mike Lee in this promotion. I'm just wondering if you can describe how you rate him in terms of other opponents you've faced. I mean, besides even Jose Uzcategui, how would you compare him to some of the fighters that you had fought as you were coming up as a contender?
I respect everybody as a man, but if somebody wants me to respect their fighting skills, then they got to make me do that. Just like my past opponents, they've respected me as a man, but they didn't think I'd be able to get the job done. And if I wanted them to respect my fighting skills, then I had to do it when the bell rang. So I'm not looking for validation from him, and I'm sure as hell hope he ain't looking from me, because he ain't gonna get it unless he can make me do it in the ring. So as far as where I rank him with other fighters, I'm pretty sure we all agree that he's not, he hasn't accomplished or done some of the things that some of the other guys I fought have. But at the same time, he's a different fighter himself. He's a different guy. So as I said before, I'm taking him just as serious as I've taken any of these other guys. I've worked harder this training camp than I have in any other training camp in my entire life. And I'm telling you, when July 20th, when the bell rings, you guys are going to see a difference. You guys are going to see a new Caleb Plant. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good luck to both of you on July 20th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And our next question comes from Jeremy Harridges with Fansided.com.
Hi, Caleb. Obviously, now being the IBF super middleweight champion, there's a lot of responsibility to kind of carry that crown. Do you feel any added pressure, not just inside the ring, but outside the ring, character-wise, of holding the responsibility of that title?
I've always tried to carry myself as a champion, talk as a champion, train as a champion. So I think it's just about, I'm not a grown man, I'm a growing man. So I'm going to continue to become better in the ring. I'm going to continue to become a better man outside the ring. But thus far, I think, I've done a good job of, handling that responsibility. So, I think if I just continue to follow, do what I've done, I think I'll be on the right path. So.
In some of the pressers, I know that some words were exchanged and there were some critical remarks about Mike Lee. Do you feel any animosity towards him personally, or what are some of your perspectives on him as a person?
I think that Mike Lee is not someone who tells the whole truth. I have the inside scoop on a couple of different things, and so I don't know, but I have the same amount of respect for him as anybody else that I stepped in the ring with, which is none. If you want me to respect your fighting skills, then you got to make me do that. I'm not just going to give you the respect that you want. July 20th, when the bell rings, if he wants me to respect anything in his arsenal, then he's got to make me do that because he's not getting it. So I don't care about, to me, boxing is life or death. That's it. So I don't care about nobody in his village. I don't care who lives there. I'm coming to burn it down. So unless he's looking to do the same thing with me, it's either going to be a long night or a short night. So,
2 more questions. As far as the inside scoop, what would you be able to elaborate on some of those things?
Come July 20th, just tune in. And, something my father taught me is the truth belongs to everybody and lies belongs to individuals. I'm going to give you all the truth July 20th.
Final question. I know when you guys were in close, the mics weren't able to pick up some of the words exchanged between you and Mike. What were some of the things discussed when the mics weren't able to pick those comments up?
I don't know. I honestly can't even remember to tell you. I told him to sit down, and he sat down, so I turned the cameras and stood there with my belt. So, but none of that is really important. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What's important is when we let our hands slide. So that's all I care about.
Thank you, Caleb, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Our next question comes from Joseph Santoliquido.
Caleb.
Joseph.
What's up, bud? How you doing?
What's going on?
Listen, does this guy really know what he's getting into? The reason why I ask this is, 1, he's taped on. You're the first guy he's faced in 13 months. 2, he's dropping down in weight. 3, he's fighting a world champion. Does he really know what he's getting into?
No, he doesn't. But that's okay. It's not my job. It's none of our jobs to try and tell him otherwise. I'm gonna let these hands do the talking on July 20th. But no, he's delusional. He's never faced anybody like me. He's never even come close. He just told you guys that he's not even getting the sparring of anybody who even looks like me. How many people you think I can spar that fights like Mike Lee? How many people you think that he can spar that looks like me? And he answered it for you. I ain't even got to tell you. So no, he has no idea, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, you and I have discussed these things. The other thing too is I got a sense my man's kind of irritated you, and I got a sense you're going to take it out on him July 20th.
That he's what? I'm sorry, say that again.
He's irritated you, Caleb. He's irritated you maybe a little bit more so than previous fighters you've faced. And again, everybody knows your story, and a number of people know his story. I like what you and I have had these discussions. Lessons are earned, not learned.
Yep.
I don't think he's earned a few.
No, but he's gonna earn a lesson July 20th. One that he can't be taught. One that can only be taught by me. So, I don't know. I don't like him that much. I don't like anybody who's in the ring with me. I don't want to be friends. I don't care nothing about what they got going on. To me, boxing is life or death. So if I don't win, I don't get to go home because I won't have a home. So.
Yeah. Okay. Caleb, thanks, bud.
All right. Our next question comes from Gail Finkenthal. Gail,
hi, Caleb. Good afternoon. You have relocated to Las Vegas, I think, Henderson, but from Nashville. And I don't think you've ever had a pro fight in Nashville, have you? Would you like to do that at some point and bring professional boxing into Nashville, a big ticket fight?
Yes, ma'am. That's something that I have not got to do yet, but that's something that we're really looking forward to, and I know we're close to getting it done. When they approached me with this opportunity to fight here at the MGM, we were talking about, maybe a couple of different spots, one of them being Nashville, but I really loved this opportunity, and they knew that I was the man for the job to handle it in fashion. But definitely want to bring a big fight to Nashville. It's a big city. I think Jeff Lacey and Jermaine Taylor, they fought in Nashville. There's been a couple of other big fights in Nashville, but I think that I could be the one to, make it a regular thing. So first things first, we'll handle business July 20th, and, we'll go from there. But that's something definitely that we're looking forward to in the future.
Well, I think that's going to give a lot of the good fans there something to be very happy about. Do you still feel that you represent Nashville as a fighter? Is that still an important part of your identity?
Yes, ma'am. Nashville, that's who I am. I may reside in Las Vegas, but Tennessee, that's what made me. Ashland City, Nashville, those are the places that made me. So I'm still, I live in Vegas, like I said, but Nashville is always home. So that's still an important part of me, and, it always will be so.
Well, they taught you well because you're calling me ma'am. So thank you, Caleb, and best of luck to you on July 20th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. And as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And our next question comes from Brandon Stubbs with Punch to the Face Radio. Brandon, your line is open.
Good afternoon, Caleb. My question is, with a lot of things you've had happen outside of the ring, how therapeutic has boxing and training been to you through the ups and downs, the highs and lows of the course of since winning your championship? How therapeutic has it been to go back in the ring and train and prepare yourself for such a big event here coming down here in a couple of weeks?
Boxing has always been like a sanctuary for me. It's been a place that I could go and be somebody. I've said this in other interviews that as a kid, I was someone who nobody would want to be, living in a place, coming from a place nobody would want to be in. So when I got to go to the gym, then I got to be somebody that everybody wanted to be, even at a young age. Grown men looking up to me, oohing and on, and, I kind of got to be a superstar. And once I got back out of those doors, I had to go back to being that kid that nobody would want to be. And so that just became like addicting. It became like an addiction for me to want to be there, want to be in the gym, not go home, just be a gym rat. And through everything that came and left in my life, through all the things I've lost, through all the things I've been deprived of or haven't had, boxing has always stood by my side, and boxing has always been there for me through thick and thin. And, boxing is like a woman. If you treat her right and you do good by her, then she'll stand by you and she'll do right by you. But she's a jealous woman as well. And the difference between me and my opponent is I haven't glanced off of her. I haven't endeavored in other things. I haven't, fear not the man who's thrown 10,000 kicks once, but fear the man who's thrown one kick 10,000 times. So that's what I've done.
And the last question I have is, you're part of a huge event here, Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman, but you're featured on Fox. You're going to get different eyes and different boxing fans who might have ever seen you fight before. What should they be anticipating when they see you in action here against Mike Lee for your championship? What do you want to showcase to that new audience of fans who may have not too familiar with what you do or what you bring to the table?
They can expect fireworks. They can expect, an entertaining person, entertaining fighter. And he won't make it out of the final bell. So either he'll bow out before the final bell or I'll bow him out myself. But, either they'll wave the white flag or I'll wave it for him. So it's going to be one or the other.
All right, Caleb, man, I appreciate your time. God bless. Looking forward to seeing you defend your championship here in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, we will go ahead, and that'll conclude our conference call as we get set to let Caleb, resume training once again, because he's always in the gym without question. Caleb, if you have any final comments as you prepare for your first title defense on Saturday, July 20th. It is PBC Fight Night that all starts 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 local time in Las Vegas from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Again, that'll precede the pay-per-view with Manny Pac Man Pacquiao taking on Keith Thurman for the welterweight championship of the world. Caleb, final comments.
Sorry, you cut out there at the end. Did you say any final words?
Yeah, I said, do you have any final words as you prepare to get back into training?
Again, just, I'm encouraging everyone to tune in. It's going to be a great night of fights. It's going to be a spectacular I'll be defending my world title in a spectacular fashion, so this is something you guys aren't going to want to miss, I can promise you.
Well, Caleb, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the media for calling in. We are so excited. This upcoming week is the 4th of July here in the United States, but there are going to be plenty of fireworks on Saturday, July 20th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It's PBC Fight Night, 7 Eastern, 4 local time, Pacific time. And then Fox Sports pay-per-view, Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. But you do not want to miss Caleb Plant's first title defense against Mike Lee. Both of them are undefeated. Someone so it's got to go. Thank you so much to the media. We'll see you during Fight Week in Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, you may now disconnect.